Hello, this is Cassie Fairley. I'm one of the counselors here at Auburn High School, and this podcast is for parents and students to get the information that we counselors give to our students in their academic sessions. We meet with all of our seniors, juniors, and 10th graders once a year for what's called an academic session, and we go over a lot of information. And so the goal of this podcast is for students who maybe have missed their academic session for whatever reason, or for parents who just really would like to know a lot of the information that is pertinent to their student and the grade, relevant to their grade. Okay, so like I said, this is just, I'm going to walk through this as if I'm giving an academic session. And so these are just things that you need to know. Okay, the GPA begins in the 9th grade. Some students do take courses that are posted on their transcript from the 8th grade, such as a foreign language or a math, maybe Algebra 1. Those classes do go into your total credits, but they don't go into your GPA. So your GPA does start in the 9th grade, and it stands for grade point average. So it is the average of all of the classes and all of the courses that you've taken since the 9th grade. Not just your core classes, but all electives, everything that you've taken. Okay, this is very important right here. Your GPA at the end of your junior year is what colleges will use to determine your admissions. And this is because the senior grades aren't posted until January after your fall semester of your senior year. And by then, most of you have already applied to college. Most college admissions deadlines are going to be in that fall of your senior year, either October, November, December. Some might be January 1st, January 15th. But for the most part, you will have already applied for college in the fall of your senior year, and those grades the grades from the classes that you're taking in the fall are not posted to your transcript until January. So the junior year GPA at the end of your junior year is typically what most colleges are going to see. You might have a little half a credit class in the first quarter of your senior year that is posted on your transcript, but it's not going to affect your GPA that much at all. So this is really important for students to know, because as a 10th grader, just know that your 9th grade classes, your 10th grade classes, and then your 11th grade classes are very, very important to get your GPA where it needs to be for college admissions. As I said, GPA stands for grade point average, and this is basically how it works. An A goes into your GPA as 4 points, a B is 3 points, a C is 2 points, etc. So if you have, let's say, a 2.6, it's going to be somewhere between a C and a B average of all the classes that you've taken and received credit for. Okay, for our core curriculum, I'm just going to quickly go over our requirements, and I just want to say that all of the information that's in this podcast can also be found on our website in our course curriculum guide. You can go online and you can look at that course curriculum guide, and you can get a lot of the same information that you're getting from this podcast. Okay, so these are the requirements for graduation. In order to graduate from Auburn High School, there are a number of things that you need to accomplish. You have to have 26 credits to graduate, and that is the minimum amount of credits. Our schedule allows students to earn 8 credits a year. So, 8 times 4 years equals 32 credits. So 26 credits minimum is not that hard to accomplish. So the only time students really get into a situation with credits is if they repeatedly fail classes and really dig themselves a hole with credits. Okay, for the requirements, you need 4 credits of English, math, science, and social studies. I mean, those are your basic core classes. The main thing to know about English is that starting in really in the 9th grade on, there are a number of different options that you can take for English, and we'll get into that in a minute. There are a couple of important things to know about math. First of all, if you did take algebra in the 8th grade, it does go on your transcript and it's included in your credits, but it is included as an elective credit. It does not count as one of your 4 credits of math that you need in grades 9 through 12. So even if you did take algebra in the 8th grade, you still need to take 4 credits of math in grades 9 through 12. And the other thing that's important to know about math is that all students must take Algebra 2, some form of Algebra 2. We have Algebra 2 for seniors without trig, and we have Algebra 2 with trig. Okay, 4 credits of social studies. If you're a rising senior, the main thing that I want you to keep in mind is you need to register for both American Government and Economics. Each of those classes is a 9-week class worth a half of a credit, and they go together for your required senior social studies credit. Okay, and then you need 4 credits of science, and these 4 credits must include biology and a physical science. The reason we say a physical science is because most students in the 10th grade take the class called physical science, but a number of students skip that class because they know at some point they're going to take either physics or chemistry. Physics and chemistry are both a physical science. So one of your science classes needs to be either physical science, physics, or chemistry. So that's basically your core classes: English, math, science, and social studies, 4 credits of each in grades 9 through 12. Okay, everyone needs a full credit of PE. Also, substituted for PE can be ROTC and advanced weight training. So if you've taken either of these, that fulfills this requirement for PE. Everyone needs a half of a credit of health. So you either can take the class health, or you can meet that requirement if you take the class called Foundations of Health Science, which is in our Health Science Career Tech pathway. That has a health credit embedded in the curriculum, and so that would fulfill that health requirement. All students need to take the class Career Preparedness. This is a class that is typically taken in the 9th grade, sometimes the 10th grade. So that is one of the requirements as well. And then every student needs to have 3 credits of any combination of these groups of courses. So the first is career technical courses, the second is art education courses, and then your foreign language. So you need 3 credits of any combination. And for example, you might take 2 credits of a foreign language and then 1 full credit of art classes. Or you might have 3 credits of the same career tech pathway classes. So just any combination, as long as you meet the minimum of 3 credits. And a lot of students take way more than 3 credits in these areas, so that is just the minimum. And then what's left is 4.5 credits of free electives. So there are a lot of options of electives for our students to take at Auburn High School. Okay, and then in order to get a career technical endorsement, again, you need to have 3 classes, 3 sequential classes in a career technical cluster. Auburn High School now offers 11 of these career tech clusters. So all of these clusters have classes within the clusters. You can find these, the classes in our course of study book, which is, again, it's on our website. You can just click on the course of study book and you can go into each of these clusters, look at the classes within these clusters, and each class will have a brief description of the class and what's required of it, if there's a fee involved, if it's an off-campus, shop, etc. So the first one is advertising design. Then we have agri-construction, aquaculture, food and natural resources. These are our marine biology classes. Business management and administration. We have our engineering cluster, which is our pre-engineering classes. Our finance, accounting and personal finance. Our finance cluster, which include accounting and personal finance. We have our government and public administration, which is our LET program or our JROTC courses. We have our health science cluster, and with that cluster we have a partnership with Southern Union, our state community college. They can take dual enrollment classes in EMT and get dual credits at both the high school level and the college level. We have our precision machining cluster, which is, these are courses that are off campus. We have a shop off campus, and our students use large machining tools, large lathes, and other machining tools to make things. So this is a very hands-on cluster for students who really like to have hands-on experience in a career tech field. Our restaurant, food, and beverage service cluster. This cluster includes our hospitality and tourism class as well as our culinary arts classes. And then finally we have our TV production cluster. This cluster includes our Tiger TV. Okay, for the different curriculum options for students to take here at Auburn High School, we have your grade level courses, we have advanced curriculum classes, and we have our International Baccalaureate or our IB program. For grade level, you, as a student, you just need to meet all the objectives for graduation. So basically our graduation requirements, and that means your minimum credits of 26 plus your core course requirements. And then you have to meet all of the requirements for college admissions. The important thing for students who are going into specifically a four-year college right after Auburn High School is to know the requirements of the colleges that you're applying to. And this is more relevant for our juniors and certainly our seniors, but every college has their own set of requirements, and it is up to the student and your family to know the different requirements of the colleges that you're applying to. Okay, starting with the 2016-2017 school year, we will start weighting some classes. So this is a new thing for the 2016-2017 school year. An extra 0.5 quality point will be added to the following advanced classes. The Pre-AP English 10. So this class has formerly been called Advanced English 10, and starting with this next school year it will be Pre-AP IB English 10, and it will be weighted a half a quality point. Anatomy, Intro to Biotechnology, which is formerly Genetics, Physics, Chemistry, Advanced Debate, and Advanced Debate 2. All of these classes will be weighted 1/2 quality point. And then our foreign language upper level classes, level 3 and 4 for Spanish, French, and German. These will all be weighted a half a quality point as well. Please take note that access classes will not get the extra weight. So if a student takes, for example, Spanish 3 on access over the summer so that they can take Spanish 4 the next school year, they will not get the weighted credit for that Spanish 3. This is only for the classes that are taken on our campus with our teachers. And most importantly about these new weighted classes, this is not retroactive. So this only starts with the 2016-2017 school year. Okay, the next section of curriculum are our advanced placement courses, and that's exactly what these are. They are AP courses. These are college level courses taken on our campus, and they are typically alternating all year, every other day, and you can possibly earn college credit. The way that you do earn college credit is that you, at the end of the course, at the end of the AP course in May, you will take an AP exam. They're $100 per AP class. The AP exam is scored on a 1 to 5 point scale. And so depending on the college that the student ends up going to, and the score that they get on the AP exam will determine whether they get college credit for that class or not. So again, advanced placement courses are definitely more challenging. There's a more challenging curriculum on a college level. You can pick and choose these AP classes. There's no such thing as like an AP program or an AP diploma. They are simply AP courses that students can pick and choose based on their areas of strengths and interests. And then we do have the IB, the International Baccalaureate curriculum or program. This is the most challenging high school curriculum in the world, and it is extremely rigorous. The curriculum is very rigorous, and it includes a number of things other than just the IB courses. All of the IB courses are weighted 1 quality point. This IB diploma is recognized worldwide, and typically students who do go into IB are preparing themselves for this program prior to the 10th grade. Typically they start preparing for this program in the 8th grade and certainly the 9th grade. So International Baccalaureate, very similar to some AP classes. All of the IB classes are weighted. An A goes into your GPA as a 5.0, a B would be a 4.0, etc. I guess one of the drawbacks of IB would be it is a very inflexible schedule. So if you are interested in a lot of extracurricular activities such as athletics or choir or band or any after school activities, it is going to be more difficult to balance the IB program, and then it's going to be more difficult to balance the IB program as well as those other activities. Not impossible. We have had students in the IB program who have been very successful at balancing both their challenging classes as well as athletics or extracurricular activities. Okay, so the curriculum is pretty set. There is also included, as I mentioned before, there are other things included in the curriculum. There's an extended essay of 4,000 words, which is kind of like a master's thesis. There is a class called Theory of Knowledge, which is a required elective. You have to take 5 foreign language credits, and then there are also a certain amount of community service hours, 150 hours of community service. So that's all the requirements for the IB diploma, and students in IB do actually get an IB diploma as well as an Auburn High School diploma. Mr. James Tyndall is our IB counselor as well as our college and career coordinator. So if you are a student who is thinking about the International Baccalaureate program, possibly you're a 10th grader and you've been preparing for it and you need to know some more information, you just need to set up an appointment with Mr. James Tyndall and sit down with him and go over your transcript and the classes that you've taken to see if you could be a candidate for this. IB exams are administered at the end of the classes, just like the AP classes. They're in May, and college credit is possible also depending on the score that you get on the IB exams. The fee for this IB diploma, the IB program, is $840 for the total program, and here's the website that you can go to on your own if you're just interested in learning more about the International Baccalaureate program. Okay, for college entrance information, if you're going to a 4-year college right after high school, you are going to be, it's required that you take the ACT or SAT. Those are both college entrance exams, and both of those companies say that students need to take those exams starting in the spring of their junior year. And for that reason, we here at Auburn High School, our school system pays for all of our juniors to have the ACT plus writing in the spring of their junior year. So if you are planning, if you're a 10th grader and you're planning to take the ACT before your junior year, that is fine. We always suggest students take it as many times as you can. Just don't sign up to take the writing portion. It's an extra fee for the writing portion, and we will give you the writing portion in your junior year for free. So, and colleges really just want to see that you've taken it one time, so you don't need to take that more than once. So just know that you will be given that exam, the ACT exam, on campus during the school day in spring of your junior year. Okay, for 10th graders, these are the tests that our 10th graders take during the school year. They will take the Aspire in the spring, and this is a standardized test put on by ACT that assesses all core subjects, and it is capable of predicting ACT outcomes. So it will give you a range of scores that you're likely to get on the ACT based on this Aspire test that you take in the 10th grade. In the 11th grade, as I mentioned a moment ago, you will be taking the ACT plus writing in April. And then in the 12th grade, you will be taking a standardized test called Work Keys. This is also put on by ACT, but it is more relevant for careers and the world of work. So it will assess students' interests and abilities. It's kind of like an interest inventory. It will give them information about careers that their own personality and interests and abilities might best match up to. Okay, our summer options. We do have summer school at Auburn High School. We have students have the ability to take both credit recovery classes as well as access classes over the summer, and I'm going to go over that right here. Credit recovery is for students who have failed a class with a 40 or higher. So you have to have a grade of a 40 to a 59 in order to take advantage of credit recovery. It's on a computer program called Plato, and students can work at it. Students can work through it at their own pace. It is free of charge over the summer, and just keep in mind that there is no bus transportation, so students will need to have their own transportation to and from Auburn High School if they're going to do anything over the summer. There will be summer PE and it's $150. It's at the junior high, and the dates and times will be posted as soon as they are determined. There is no bus transportation for that either. We will have driver's ed over the summer. We have that every summer at Auburn High School, and students can sign up to take that in the spring, usually starting in February. And then access classes. This is typically what students take as far as summer school These classes are online, and they are $50 per half credit course. So, for example, if a student wanted to take American government and economics over the summer, they would pay $100 because each of those are half credit classes. They would take one of those classes in the first section or the first session, and then they would take the other one in the second session. We have 2 little mini-mesters over the summer. The first session stops right before the week of the 4th of July, and then the second session picks up after the week of the 4th of July. So students are able to take as many as 2 full credits, and this is for all grades. The dates and times of this still are being determined, but as soon as they have been determined, that information will be provided to all of the students. And again, there's no transportation, so students have to have their own transportation. Okay, we do have credit advancement exams at Auburn High School. The dates and time for this will be announced as soon as it is determined. Basically, a student over the summer or at some point in December before the second semester, they can take an exam to see if they can exempt a course so that they can move on to the next course. For example, if a student, say, wanted to take a credit advancement exam for pre-calculus so that the next year they could sign up and take AP calculus, they could take that credit advancement exam, and if they scored 80% or above, they could go ahead and CLEP that course basically and take the next course the next school year. The grade that students get on the credit advancement exams does go on their transcript and does calculate into their GPA. One important thing to keep in mind is that credit advancement exams are not recognized by NCAA. So if you are a student athlete, it is important to keep that in mind.